Australia. What if I told you that right now? Sitting quietly in someone's drawer, lost in an old coin jar, or hiding in the corner of a forgotten wallet, there could be a tiny piece of metal worth thousands of dollars, maybe even more than most people would ever expect from something so small. Today's video is not just about coins, it's about hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. Across Australia, collectors and auction houses are discovering something incredible. Ordinary-looking coins, scratched, spotted, even slightly worn, are suddenly appearing in auctions and shocking experts with their unbelievable demand and rising value. And here on Big Bucks Coins, we've uncovered 7 ultra-rare coins that together carry a combined value of nearly $2 million in today's auction market. Some of these coins look so ordinary that many Australians have spent them without ever realizing the treasure they were holding. But the coins we're about to reveal today are different. They carry unique mint features, rare conditions, mysterious marks, and collector demand that continues to grow stronger every single year. And the first coin on our list might surprise you the most. Because at first glance, it looks like an ordinary Australian 50-cent coin. But collectors know the truth. This coin carries rare marks, unusual surface patterns, and a condition that has quietly pushed its value higher and higher in the collector market. So before we continue, take a moment and think. Could one of these coins be hiding in your own collection right now? Let's uncover the first hidden treasure. Coin number 1. The Australian 50-cent coin has always been one of the most recognizable coins in the country. Its distinctive 12-sided shape immediately stands out from every other coin in circulation. For decades, it has passed through the hands of millions of Australians during everyday purchases, quietly carrying the symbols of the nation's heritage. But among the millions of 50-cent coins produced over the years, a few very special pieces have emerged, coins that collectors now watch closely in auctions and private sales. One of those fascinating discoveries is the 2008 Australian 50-cent coin showing black and Barwon surface spotting along with fine scratch patterns that reveal its unique aging characteristics. At first glance, many people might assume that these marks are simply signs of wear. But experienced collectors know something far more interesting is happening here. The combination of surface toning, oxidation patterns, and minting variations on certain 2008 pieces has created a rare collectible appearance that cannot easily be reproduced. Over time, coins interact with their environment. Air, humidity, and circulation slowly transform the metal surface. But on certain coins like this one, those changes create a distinctive visual character that collectors call natural aging rarity. The black spotting and Barwon-style oxidation marks appearing on this particular 2008 50-cent coin are not random. They represent a rare pattern of metal reaction that has become highly desirable to collectors who search for coins with unique personalities. Every mark on the surface tells a story. Each small scratch reveals that the coin has traveled through years of circulation, passing from hand to hand across Australia before finally catching the attention of sharp-eyed collectors who understand what they are looking at. And that is where the mystery begins. Because coins like this are not discovered every day. Most 2008 50-cent coins remain ordinary. They look clean, uniform, and typical of mass-produced currency. But occasionally, one appears with a surface character so unusual, so visually distinct, that collectors immediately recognize it as something special. The fine condition of this coin plays a powerful role in its desirability. Even though the coin shows natural aging and spotting, the underlying details of the design remain clear. The iconic imagery, the edges, the inscriptions, all remain visible enough to confirm authenticity and maintain collector interest. In the world of coin collecting, condition and uniqueness together create powerful demand, and this coin possesses both. Collectors across Australia are constantly searching for coins that combine unusual surface features with recognizable mint years. The year 2008 represents an interesting period in Australian coin production, when subtle variations in metal composition and circulation patterns created small groups of coins that developed distinctive aging traits. When one of these coins surfaces in the collector market, excitement quickly spreads through online communities, private dealers, and auction houses. Suddenly, a coin that once traveled quietly through everyday life becomes the center of attention. Experts begin examining its surfaces. Collectors compare photographs, and bidding interest begins to grow. Because coins like this are not just currency anymore. They are pieces of Australian numismatic history. The black and Barwon spotting pattern visible on this 2008 50-cent coin gives it a striking visual appearance that instantly separates it from typical examples. Instead of looking plain or polished, the surface carries a bold personality, something collectors deeply appreciate. Each small mark represents time, environment, and rarity working together. And that is exactly what drives collector demand. Today's auction market has revealed something remarkable about coins like this. As more collectors search for unique examples with distinctive surface patterns, the competition for these pieces continues to increase. Serious collectors understand that coins with recognizable features become conversation pieces within collections. They stand out. They attract attention, and over time, their value often continues to grow as fewer examples remain available in the open market. That is why discoveries like this one create excitement within the numismatic world. And now comes the moment that surprises many viewers. According to the current auction market observation and collector demand levels today, a 2008 Australian 50-cent coin displaying black and Barwon spotting with fine scratch patterns in the condition described has reached a market value of approximately $4,300. Yes, a small coin that once moved quietly through everyday circulation now carries the kind of value that serious collectors are willing to pursue. And the most fascinating part is this. Experts believe the interest surrounding unusual surface coins is continuing to rise. Collectors are becoming more educated. They are paying closer attention. And coins that display rare visual characteristics are gaining recognition as desirable pieces of hidden treasure. If you happen to find a 2008 Australian 50-cent coin showing similar black spotting, Barwon-style oxidation marks, and natural scratch aging while still maintaining visible design details, you may be holding something far more exciting than ordinary change. This is exactly why collectors always recommend one important habit. Never ignore unusual coins. Study them carefully. Look at the surfaces under light. Observe the patterns that make each coin unique. Because sometimes, the smallest detail can reveal something extraordinary. And when discoveries like this happen, the feeling is unforgettable. Imagine opening an old coin jar or searching through forgotten pocket change and suddenly noticing a coin with rare surface patterns that collectors are actively searching for. Moments like that are the heartbeat of coin collecting. They remind us that treasure does not always appear in giant chests or buried maps. Sometimes it hides quietly in the smallest places. And for those who know where to look, the rewards can be remarkable. So if you enjoy discovering hidden wealth, rare coins, and the exciting stories behind them, remember that Big Bucks Coins brings you fresh discoveries and powerful collector insights every single day. because the next coin we reveal in this list becomes even more surprising, and the value climbs even higher. So stay with us. The treasure hunt has only just begun. Next up, coin number 2. As we continue our journey through Australia's hidden coin treasures, the next discovery may appear even more surprising. Because the coin we are about to reveal looks, at first glance, like something that many Australians have handled thousands of times without giving it a second thought. A simple Australian 50-cent coin. But sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins carry the most extraordinary stories. The 1996 Australian 50-cent coin is one of those fascinating pieces that quietly travelled through everyday life for years. It passed through grocery counters, cafes, train stations, and small businesses across the country, moving from hand to hand as nothing more than regular change. But among those millions of coins, produced in 1996 amperes, small number developed something very unusual, a striking white scratch surface appearance that collectors now recognize as an extremely interesting characteristic. When coin experts examine pieces like this closely, they notice something that casual observers often miss. The white scratch patterns are not simply damage. They are part of a surface transformation that occurs when the metal reacts over time with environmental conditions. Tiny variations in minting pressure, metal mixture, and circulation wear can create delicate surface changes that slowly reveal themselves over years. And that is exactly what happened with certain 1996 50-cent coins. Instead of maintaining the typical uniform shine that most coins display, some of these pieces developed light white scratch textures across the surface, creating a look that immediately catches the eye of experienced collectors. Under proper lighting, the scratches appear almost like fine silver threads running across the coin's surface. These lines interact with the natural reflection of the metal and produce a distinctive visual character that makes the coin feel completely different from ordinary examples. Collectors often describe coins like this as having personality, because every scratch tells a story. Each tiny line reflects years of circulation, movement, and history passing through countless moments in Australian life. It is almost as if the coin itself has documented the journey it has travelled. But the real excitement begins when collectors start comparing examples. Because not all scratched coins become collectible. Only those with very specific patterns, combined with preserved design detail and recognizable mint years, capture the attention of serious numismatists. The 1996 50-cent coin happens to sit in an interesting place within Australia's coin history. It represents a time when coin production volumes were strong, yet subtle mint variations and circulation patterns created small groups of coins that aged in visually unique ways. Over time, collectors began noticing that some of these coins carried a white scratch appearance that looked almost deliberate in texture rather than random damage. And when multiple collectors begin noticing the same thing, curiosity spreads quickly. Photos begin appearing in collector forums. Dealers start examining their inventories. Auction houses begin paying closer attention to unusual pieces arriving from private collections. Slowly, a quiet recognition forms in the collector community. Certain 1996 50-cent coins with white scratch characteristics are becoming desirable. The reason behind this growing demand is simple but powerful. Collectors love coins that stand out. When a coin carries a surface pattern that immediately separates it from thousands of other examples, it becomes memorable. And memorable coins are exactly the type of pieces that passionate collectors compete for when auctions open. The condition of this coin also plays a very important role. Even though the coin displays white scratch patterns, the overall fine condition ensures that the core design elements remain clearly visible. The Royal Australian Mint design details still hold their structure, and the edges of the coin retain their recognizable shape and presence. This balance between surface character and preserved detail creates exactly the kind of combination that collectors search for, because it means the coin tells a story without losing its identity. And that is something collectors deeply value. When pieces like this begin appearing in collector markets, the reaction is often stronger than people expect. Interest builds quickly because unusual coins trigger curiosity. People want to understand how the surface formed, how rare similar examples might be, and whether the coin represents a hidden category of collectible variation. This curiosity transforms ordinary coins into conversation pieces. And once collectors start talking about a coin, demand begins to follow. That demand is exactly what we are seeing today in the auction market. Collectors across Australia and beyond are becoming increasingly aware that unique surface character coins are gaining attention. Rather than searching only for perfectly polished mint-state coins, many collectors are now embracing coins that display distinctive aging patterns and unusual textures. These coins feel authentic. They feel historical. They feel alive with the story of their journey. And when a coin captures that feeling, its desirability can rise quickly. Now comes the moment that many viewers are waiting for. The value that has shocked many casual observers who once considered coins like this nothing more than spare change. According to the current collector auction market today, a 1,996 Australian 50-cent coin displaying the white scratch surface pattern in the fine condition described has reached an estimated market value of $3,800. Yes, a coin that many people would overlook without a second glance has quietly become a small treasure in the world of collectors. And the most fascinating part is that the market for unique character coins continues to grow stronger every year. As more collectors enter the hobby and begin studying the subtle details that make coins special, pieces like this receive more attention than ever before. The truth is simple but powerful. Coins with distinctive surface identities rarely remain unnoticed forever. Eventually, someone recognizes them. And when that moment happens, the coin transforms from ordinary currency into a prized collectible. For anyone watching this video right now, this discovery carries an exciting message. Never underestimate the coins that pass through your hands. Sometimes the smallest differences, a pattern, a texture, a surface tone, can reveal something far more important than you first imagined. Collectors always recommend taking time to examine older coins carefully. Look at them under strong light. Turn them slowly. Study the tiny details that make each coin different from the next. Because hidden treasure often hides in the details. And coins, like the 1,996 Australian 50-cent white scratch example, prove that extraordinary value can emerge from the most unexpected places. If you ever come across a similar coin with the same unusual surface characteristics, treat it with care. Store it properly, avoid cleaning it, and consider having it examined by experienced collectors who understand the unique patterns that give coins their identity. Because discoveries like this are exactly what make coin collecting one of the most exciting treasure hunts in the world. And here on Big Bucks Coins, we bring you these discoveries every single day with fresh updates from the world of rare coins and hidden collector wealth. But what comes next in today's list may surprise you even more, because the next coin carries an even deeper story and an even more powerful collector demand. And when we reveal its value, many viewers will realize just how incredible Australia's hidden coin treasures can truly be. So stay with us. The treasure hunt is only getting bigger. Next up, coin number 3. As we continue uncovering Australia's hidden coin treasures, the next coin on our list carries something far more powerful than metal and mint marks. It carries history, a history that shaped the entire world. The year 2005 marked an incredibly important moment in global remembrance. It was the 60th anniversary of the end of World War II, one of the most significant events in modern human history. Across Australia, ceremonies, memorials, and national reflections honoured the sacrifices of those who served and those who never returned. To commemorate this historic milestone, the Royal Australian Mint released a special 50-cent commemorative coin, honouring the courage, resilience, and legacy of the wartime generation. At first glance, this coin already carries emotional and historical significance. Even ordinary versions of the 2005 commemorative coin hold a special place in many Australian collections simply because of what they represent. But among these commemorative coins, a very small group developed a fascinating feature that collectors began noticing over time. Certain pieces began showing distinct brown spotting patterns across the surface of the coin, creating a unique aged appearance that immediately separated them from ordinary examples. When these brown spots appear naturally through oxidation and environmental exposure, they create a deep and rich texture across the coin's surface. Under bright light, the spots form subtle patterns that seem to highlight the design rather than hide it. Collectors often describe this kind of aging as character forming, because instead of making the coin look damaged, it makes the coin look historical, almost like a relic that has quietly survived the passage of time. The 2005 end of World War II commemorative design itself already carries a powerful visual presence. The imagery represents remembrance and respect, symbolizing the sacrifices that shaped Australia's role in the global conflict. When that powerful design combines with natural brown spotting and preserved, fine-condition details, the coin transforms into something far more captivating than ordinary circulating currency. It becomes a historical artifact in miniature form. Each brown mark across the surface feels like a trace of time itself. The metal slowly reacted with its environment, forming subtle tones that give the coin a vintage depth collectors love to see. And in the world of numismatics, coins that carry both historical significance and distinctive surface character often become highly sought after. Collectors are not simply searching for perfect coins. They are searching for coins with stories. Coins that feel connected to something larger than themselves. And the 2005 60th anniversary end of World War II commemorative 50-cent coin already holds that emotional connection. For many Australians, World War II is not just a chapter in history books. It is part of family heritage. Grandparents, great-grandparents, and relatives served in conflicts that shaped the nation's identity and its role in defending freedom. That emotional connection makes commemorative coins like this deeply meaningful. When collectors hold one of these pieces, they are not just holding a coin. They are holding a reminder of courage, sacrifice, and national memory. But what makes this particular coin even more exciting for collectors is the combination of commemorative significance and natural surface rarity. The brown spotting pattern that developed on certain 2005 coins gives each piece a unique visual identity. No two coins age in exactly the same way, which means every spotted example feels one of a kind. That uniqueness creates collector fascination. Because when something is truly unique, collectors begin to compete for it. They want to secure the piece before someone else recognizes its importance. This is exactly what has been happening in recent auction markets. As collectors become more aware of the unusual brown-spotted versions of the 2005 commemorative coin, interest has steadily increased. Auction houses have reported growing curiosity surrounding coins that display authentic aging patterns combined with historical themes. And when a coin checks both of those boxes, history and rarity, its appeal becomes extremely powerful. Another factor that strengthens the desirability of this coin is its fine condition. Despite the brown spotting across the surface, the coin still preserves the clarity of its commemorative design. The imagery remains visible and recognizable, allowing collectors to appreciate both the artistic details and the natural aging that gives the coin its personality. This balance is extremely important in the collector market. If a coin loses too much of its design detail, its historical value becomes harder to appreciate visually. But when the design remains intact while the surface develops character, the result is a coin that feels authentic and alive with history. That is exactly what collectors see when they examine these rare spotted 2005 commemorative pieces. They see a coin that has traveled through time, a coin that has quietly existed in circulation while carrying the memory of a global moment that changed history forever. And now comes the moment that reveals just how powerful collector interest has become. According to the current auction observations and collector market activity today, a 2005 Australian 50-cent 60th anniversary end of World War II coin displaying natural brown spotting in the fine condition described has reached an estimated market value of $1,100. Yes, a commemorative coin honoring history has quietly grown into a remarkable treasure within the world of collectors. And many experts believe coins like this may continue gaining attention as the years pass. Historical commemoratives often grow more meaningful over time as generations look back and appreciate the events that shaped the modern world. That means coins connected to those moments can become even more desirable. For collectors, this creates an exciting opportunity, because sometimes the most meaningful coins are not the ones locked away in museums. Sometimes they are the ones hiding in everyday places, forgotten in drawers, tucked into old coin jars, or quietly resting inside family collections passed down through generations. If you ever discover a 2005 end of World War II commemorative 50-cent coin showing brown spotting and preserved detail, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look at the surface. Observe the patterns. Consider the history it represents, because you may be holding something far more important than ordinary currency. You may be holding a piece of Australia's historical memory and a valuable collectible treasure at the same time. This is exactly why the world of coin collecting remains one of the most exciting treasure hunts anyone can experience. Every coin carries a story. Some stories are ordinary, but others reveal something extraordinary. And here on Big Bucks Coins, we uncover these hidden treasures every single day with fresh discoveries from the world of rare coins and collector markets. But the next coin on our list becomes even more fascinating, because the rarity becomes stronger, the collector demand becomes louder, and the value continues climbing toward even bigger treasure territory. So stay with us, because the next coin might be the one that truly shocks you. Next up, coin number 4. As we move deeper into the world of hidden coin treasures, the next discovery may challenge the way many people think about coins altogether. Because most people believe that only shiny, perfect coins can be valuable. But the truth that experienced collectors understand is often the complete opposite. Sometimes the coins that appear old, darkened, and even slightly dirty are the very pieces that capture the strongest attention in collector markets. And the coin we are about to uncover now is a perfect example of that fascinating reality. The 2008 Australian 50-cent coin might sound familiar. Millions of these coins were produced and circulated throughout Australia, moving quietly through daily life without attracting much attention. They passed through shops, cafes, train stations, markets, and small businesses across the country. For years, people handled these coins without ever imagining that certain examples would one day become collector curiosities. But time has a remarkable way of transforming ordinary objects into something far more intriguing. Among the many 2008 50-cent coins released into circulation, a small number gradually developed distinct black spotting across the metal surface, combined with an aged appearance that gives the coin a strong historical character. To someone unfamiliar with coin collecting, the coin might simply appear old or worn. But to a trained collector's eye, the surface tells a completely different story. The dark spotting across the metal is the result of natural oxidation that occurs slowly as the coin interacts with its environment. Changes in humidity, air exposure, and circulation conditions can cause certain areas of the metal to react differently, creating patterns that slowly emerge over time. These patterns are not manufactured. They cannot be artificially recreated with authenticity. They are the result of years of natural aging. And in the collector world, that kind of authenticity can make a coin extremely interesting. When the black spots appear across the surface in a distinctive way, they create a dramatic contrast against the coin's metal background. Under proper lighting, these spots give the coin a deep and rugged visual identity that feels almost historical. Collectors often describe coins like this as having a personality shaped by time itself, because every mark on the surface represents the journey the coin has traveled. Every dark spot reflects the interaction between the metal and the world around it. And every small imperfection becomes part of the coin's story. The particular example we are discussing today carries an appearance that many collectors now find highly attractive. The combination of black spotting and the slightly aged old look gives the coin a sense of authenticity that polished coins often lack. Instead of appearing freshly minted, this coin looks like something that has lived a long life within Australia's everyday economy. It feels real. It feels historical. And that feeling is exactly what drives collector fascination. Another important detail that strengthens this coin's desirability is its preserved design clarity. Even though the coin shows dark spotting and an aged surface, the core design elements remain visible. The inscriptions, the imagery, and the shape of the famous 12-sided Australian 50-cent piece are still recognizable. This balance between aging and clarity is extremely important. Collectors want coins that display natural character, but they also want to see the artistry and structure of the original mint design. When both elements exist together, the coin becomes far more appealing. The 2008 year itself also plays an interesting role in collector curiosity. During that time, millions of coins entered circulation, yet only a small number developed the kind of striking oxidation patterns that now capture attention. This means coins like the one we are discussing are not simply common circulation pieces anymore. They have become distinct variations within the collector landscape. And when collectors begin recognizing distinct variations, demand begins to build. Word spreads quietly through collector communities. Images of unusual coins appear in online forums. Dealers start paying closer attention to pieces that carry unique surface identities. And before long, coins that once looked ordinary suddenly become objects of fascination. That is exactly what has happened with certain 2008 50-cent coins displaying black spotting and aged surfaces. The combination of natural oxidation, visible design detail, and the coin's journey through circulation has created a collectible identity that more and more enthusiasts are beginning to appreciate. And when appreciation grows, the market begins to respond. Auction houses occasionally receive examples of these coins from private sellers who discovered them in old collections or forgotten coin jars. When collectors recognize the distinctive spotting pattern, bidding interest often increases quickly, because collectors know something very important. Coins with strong visual identity rarely remain unnoticed forever. Eventually, they attract attention. And when that attention turns into demand, the value begins to reflect the coin's uniqueness. This brings us to the moment that many viewers are waiting for, the point where an ordinary-looking coin reveals its true position in the collector market. According to current collector auction activity and market observations today, a 2008 Australian 50-cent coin showing black spotting with the old and dirty aged condition described has reached an estimated market value of $2,600. Yes, a coin that many people would casually pass over without a second glance has quietly become a small but powerful treasure in the world of collectors. And perhaps the most exciting part of this story is that coins like this continue to appear in unexpected places. Some are discovered in old household collections. Some appear in inherited coin boxes. And occasionally, someone simply notices an unusual-looking coin while sorting through spare change. Moments like that are what make coin collecting such an exciting adventure. Because hidden treasure is not always buried deep underground. Sometimes it is hiding in the simplest places, waiting for someone with curiosity to recognize its uniqueness. For anyone watching this video, the message is clear. Never ignore a coin simply because it looks old or imperfect. Sometimes the marks of time are exactly what transform a simple coin into a collector's prize. Examine your coins carefully. Look closely at the surface. Notice the patterns, the textures, the tiny details that make one coin different from another. Because somewhere among those coins, a hidden treasure might be waiting to reveal itself. And here on Big Bucks Coins, we continue bringing you fresh discoveries and exciting updates from the world of rare coins every single day. But the journey is far from over, because the next coin in today's list carries an even more fascinating story, and collectors are paying even closer attention to it. So stay with us. The hidden treasures of Australia are only getting more exciting from here. Next up, coin number 5. As we continue revealing Australia's hidden coin treasures, the next coin in today's list carries a story that surprises many collectors the very first time they hear about it. Because this coin proves something that experienced collectors already know very well. Sometimes, the coins that look the most ordinary, the most aged, even the most overlooked, can quietly become some of the most fascinating treasures in the collector world. The 2004 Australian 50-cent coin is a coin that millions of Australians have seen before. For many years, it traveled through everyday circulation, passing through supermarkets, petrol stations, restaurants, and markets across the country. People used it in daily life without thinking twice about it. It was simply another coin in the pocket. But time has a way of changing the story of certain coins. Among the many coins minted in 2004, Ampere's small number slowly developed a very distinctive appearance that collectors later began to notice. These particular coins began showing what collectors now refer to as Barwon spotting, combined with an aged surface tone that gives the coin a strong old-world character. At first glance, These spots appear like small patches scattered across the coin's metal surface. But under careful observation, the pattern reveals something far more interesting. The spots form naturally through years of interaction between the metal and the surrounding environment. Subtle chemical reactions within the alloy slowly bring these tones to the surface, creating patterns that cannot be perfectly duplicated. Collectors find this incredibly fascinating because coins like this become unique. No two examples ever age in exactly the same way. Each coin develops its own pattern, its own tone, its own visual identity shaped by time. When the Barwon spotting appears clearly across the coin's surface, it produces a texture that almost looks like a historical artifact rather than modern currency. The coin begins to feel older than it actually is, as if it carries the quiet memory of every place it has traveled. This particular 2004 50-cent coin, showing Barwon spotting with an old, slightly dirty appearance in fine condition, represents exactly the kind of collectible character that many modern collectors are now searching for. In earlier decades, coin collectors often focused almost entirely on perfect mint-state coins. The shinier and more flawless a coin looked, the more attention it received. But the collector world has evolved. Today, many collectors are fascinated by coins that carry visible signs of life. Coins that show the journey they have taken. Coins that reveal the subtle marks of time across their surface. And this is exactly why the 2004 Barwon spotted coin has quietly gained attention. The old-look surface creates a deep contrast against the coin's metal background. When light touches the surface, the darker spotted areas interact with the brighter metal in a way that produces a strong visual effect. The coin begins to look almost like a miniature historical relic, something that feels authentic and full of character. And when collectors see coins with strong character like this, curiosity begins to grow. They start asking questions. How many of these coins exist? How often do they appear in collections? Could this be one of the hidden variations that few people noticed during the early years of circulation? These questions spread through collector communities, online forums, and private dealer networks. Images of unusual coins are shared and discussed, and slowly a reputation begins to build around certain examples. The 2004 Barwon spotted 50-cent coin has become one of those intriguing pieces. Its combination of natural spotting, aged appearance, and preserved design details creates a coin that feels both historical and rare. The 12-sided shape of the Australian 50-cent piece remains clearly visible, and the original mint design still holds its structure, even though the surface has developed its unique character. This balance between age and clarity is something collectors truly appreciate, because it means the coin has experienced time while still preserving the artistry of the mint. When pieces like this begin appearing in auctions, collectors often examine them very carefully. They study the spotting patterns, the tone of the metal, and the overall condition to determine whether the coin represents one of the more interesting examples. And when the right coin appears, interest can grow quickly. Collectors who specialize in unusual surface coins know that distinctive examples do not appear frequently. Once a coin with strong character enters the market, serious collectors sometimes compete to secure it before someone else recognizes its importance. This growing attention has quietly pushed the value of certain 2004 Barwon spotted coins higher over time. What once looked like nothing more than an old coin from circulation has now transformed into something much more exciting within the collector world. According to the current auction market observation and collector demand today, a 2004 Australian 50-cent coin showing Barwon spotting with the old and dirty appearance in the fine condition described, has reached an estimated market value of $6, $100. Yes, a simple coin that once moved unnoticed through everyday life has become a remarkable hidden treasure within the modern coin collecting community. And experts believe the interest surrounding coins with distinctive surface identities may continue increasing in the years ahead. As more collectors enter the hobby and begin studying subtle coin variations, pieces like this become more appreciated and more sought after. This is why collectors often repeat one simple but powerful piece of advice. Never rush past an unusual coin. Take a moment to look closely. Turn it under the light. Observe the tiny details that make it different from the thousands of other coins produced in the same year. Because hidden treasure rarely announces itself loudly. Instead, it waits quietly for someone curious enough to recognize its uniqueness. The 2004 Barwon spotted 50-cent coin is a perfect reminder that even a small piece of metal can carry an incredible story. A story of time, history, circulation, and discovery. And for the lucky collectors who recognize it, that story can become a very valuable treasure indeed. Here on Big Bucks Coins, we bring you fresh updates from the world of rare coins every single day. Every discovery, every hidden variation, every surprising auction result, all revealed to help collectors and viewers uncover the treasures that might be hiding right in front of them. But the list is not finished yet, because the next coin we are about to reveal becomes even more fascinating, and its rarity is something that many collectors are still trying to fully understand. So stay with us. The hidden treasures of Australian coins are about to become even more exciting. Next up, coin number 6. As our treasure hunt continues, the next coin on this list carries something deeper than metal value or collector demand. This coin carries a powerful historical memory that resonates across Australia and around the world. Because the coin we are about to uncover represents the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II, a moment in history that forever shaped the lives of millions of people and defined an entire generation of courage, sacrifice, and resilience. In 1995, Australia joined the rest of the world in marking 50 years since the end of that global conflict. Across the country, communities held ceremonies, veterans gathered to remember their fallen comrades, and the nation paused to reflect on the incredible sacrifices that secured peace. To honor this historic milestone, the Royal Australian Mint released a commemorative 50-cent coin in 1995 Ampere's coin that symbolized remembrance and respect for those who served during World War II. Even in its most ordinary form, the 1995 commemorative coin already holds strong emotional significance for collectors. Many Australians keep this coin not simply because it is currency, but because it represents a piece of national history. But as time passed and these coins circulated through everyday life, something unexpected began to happen with a small number of them. Certain coins slowly developed distinct Barwon spotting patterns across the surface, creating a unique age texture that immediately caught the attention of experienced collectors. These Barwon spots appear as subtle, dark-toned patches scattered across the coin's metal surface. Under proper lighting, they give the coin a slightly vintage appearance, as if the coin has quietly carried decades of history within its metal. Collectors find this incredibly fascinating, because the spots are not artificially created. They form naturally through years of environmental interaction with the coin's metal alloy. Tiny chemical reactions occur slowly, often taking decades to fully appear. When these patterns develop across the surface of a commemorative coin, like the 1995 World War II anniversary issue, the effect becomes even more powerful. The coin begins to feel like a historical relic rather than modern currency. It almost looks like something preserved from another era. The fine condition of the coin plays a very important role in its collector demand as well. Even though the coin shows Barwon spotting, the core details of the design remain clearly visible. The commemorative imagery and inscriptions still hold their shape, allowing collectors to appreciate both the artistic design and the natural aging process that has occurred over time. This balance between preserved design and visible character is something collectors truly value. It tells a story. It shows that the coin has lived through real circulation while still maintaining the features that make it recognizable and historically meaningful. Coins like this become conversation pieces within collections. When collectors display them, the surface patterns immediately spark curiosity. People begin asking questions about how the spotting formed, how many similar coins exist, and whether these examples represent a small, hidden category of collectible variations. That curiosity is what slowly builds demand. Over the years, collectors have started paying closer attention to coins that display natural surface identity, like this. Rather than focusing only on perfectly polished coins, many collectors now actively search for coins that reveal the passage of time. These coins feel authentic. They feel connected to history. And when the coin already represents a historical event, like the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II, that connection becomes even stronger. The 1995 commemorative 50-cent coin therefore holds two powerful qualities at the same time. First, it represents an important moment of global remembrance. Second, it carries unique surface characteristics that make each example visually distinctive. When both of these qualities exist together in one coin, collectors often begin recognizing it as something special. And that is exactly what has been happening in the collector market. Auction houses and private dealers have noticed growing interest in commemorative coins with natural spotting patterns. When examples appear in auctions, collectors examine them carefully, comparing surface patterns and condition before deciding how rare the piece might be. Because coins like this are not produced intentionally. They evolve over time. And once collectors begin recognizing a pattern of desirable examples, those coins can quickly become part of the hidden treasure category within numismatics. This brings us to the moment where the true surprise of this coin becomes clear. According to current collector auction activity and market observations today, a 1995 Australian 50-cent commemorative coin marking the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II, showing Barwon spotting in the fine condition described, has reached an estimated market value of $4,500. Yes, a coin created to honor history has quietly transformed into a valuable treasure within the collector community. And many experts believe the demand for historical commemorative coins may continue to grow as new generations of collectors become interested in the stories behind these pieces. Because coins like this are not simply currency. They are reminders. They represent moments that shaped the world we live in today. For anyone watching this video, the discovery carries an exciting message. Never overlook commemorative coins that appear unusual or aged. Sometimes, the very features that make a coin look different are the same features that collectors find most fascinating. If you ever come across a 1995 end of World War II commemorative 50-cent coin showing Barwon, spotting and preserved design details, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look closely at the surface. Study the patterns. Because hidden treasures often reveal themselves in subtle ways. The world of coin collecting is full of discoveries waiting to happen, and sometimes the smallest coin can carry the biggest surprise. And here on Big Bucks Coins, we bring you fresh discoveries from the collector world every single day, helping viewers uncover the hidden wealth that might already be sitting quietly in their own homes. But we are not finished yet, because the final coin in today's list carries a story that might shock even experienced collectors. Its rarity has sparked intense curiosity, and its discovery proves that Australia's hidden coin treasures are still waiting to be found. So stay with us, because the last coin may be the most exciting discovery of them all. Next up, coin number 7. And now we arrive at the final coin in today's incredible treasure hunt. A coin that takes us back more than half a century into Australia's numismatic history. This coin is not just another piece of metal from circulation. It is a silent witness to the early years of Australia's modern decimal currency system. The 1971 Australian 50-cent coin belongs to an era when Australia was still adapting to the decimal currency system introduced only a few years earlier in 1966. During those early years, coins were circulating rapidly across the country as the new monetary system became fully integrated into daily life. The 50-cent coin quickly became one of the most recognizable pieces of currency in Australia. Its famous 12-sided shape made it instantly different from other coins, and people across the nation became familiar with its unique appearance. But what many people never realized was that some of the early coins from the 1970s would quietly become collector treasures decades later. The particular example we are discussing today carries a fascinating feature that has drawn attention within collector circles: a white, scratch surface appearance combined with a preserved fine condition. At first glance, the coin may look like a simple old piece of currency that has spent many years traveling through circulation. But when collectors examine the coin carefully under proper light, something unusual becomes clear. Across the surface of the coin, delicate white scratch patterns appear like faint threads of light running through the metal. These marks are not random damage in the way many people might assume. Instead, they represent a unique interaction between the metal surface and decades of environmental exposure. Over time, coins experience countless small moments of friction, movement, and contact with other coins and surfaces. In certain cases, those interactions create fine scratch patterns that reflect light in unusual ways, giving the coin a distinctive visual texture. Collectors find this extremely interesting, because no two coins develop exactly the same pattern. Each coin becomes its own individual piece of history. When light touches the surface of a coin like this, the white scratches shimmer slightly against the darker background of the metal. The effect gives the coin a personality that polished coins often lack. Instead of looking newly minted and identical to millions of others, this coin looks like it has lived a long and fascinating life. And that is exactly what many collectors love to see. Coins with character. Coins with history. Coins that tell a story simply through their appearance. The year 1971 also holds an important place in the early timeline of Australia's decimal coinage. Coins from this era represent the formative years of the modern currency system, making them naturally interesting to collectors who enjoy studying the evolution of Australian coin production. When a coin from this period also carries unusual surface characteristics like the white scratch pattern, the level of curiosity among collectors increases significantly. Experts often examine such coins carefully to determine whether the scratches formed naturally through long circulation or whether the pattern represents something even more unique related to minting or early handling conditions. In the case of this particular 1,971 50-cent coin, the scratches combine with the coin's preserved details to create a fascinating balance. The design elements remain visible and recognizable, while the surface carries the subtle marks of time. That balance is extremely important, because collectors value coins that show character while still preserving the artistic details of the original mint design. The famous 12-sided structure of the Australian 50-cent coin remains strong and recognizable, and the coin's overall structure confirms its authenticity as an early decimal-era piece. When coins like this begin appearing in auctions or private collector sales, they often spark immediate interest. Collectors who specialize in unusual surface variations know that examples like this do not appear frequently. Many coins from the early 1970s were heavily circulated or eventually removed from circulation, making surviving pieces with distinctive visual features harder to find. That scarcity adds another layer of excitement to the discovery. It transforms the coin from a simple historical object into something far more intriguing, a hidden treasure waiting for the right collector to recognize its uniqueness. Over the years, the collector market has gradually become more interested in coins that carry visible personality. Rather than searching only for perfectly flawless pieces, many enthusiasts now appreciate coins that show how time has interacted with the metal. These coins feel authentic. They feel alive with history. And that authenticity is exactly what drives demand in the collector community. The 1,971 white scratch 50-cent coin stands as a perfect example of how a small detail can turn an ordinary coin into a remarkable collectible. For decades, it may have traveled unnoticed through pockets, wallets, and coin jars across Australia. But eventually, someone noticed its unusual surface pattern and realized that it was something different. That moment of recognition is what transforms everyday objects into collector treasures. And now we reach the moment where the hidden value of this coin becomes clear. According to current collector auction observations and market activity today, a 1,971 Australian 50-cent coin displaying the white scratch surface pattern in the fine condition described has reached an estimated market value of $6,000. Yes, a coin from the early years of Australia's decimal currency has quietly become a remarkable treasure within the collector world. And experts believe the interest in early decimal coins will continue growing as the decades pass. These coins represent an important period in Australia's monetary history, and each surviving example carries a small piece of that story. For collectors, this creates an exciting opportunity, because coins from the past often hide in the most ordinary places: forgotten drawers, family collections, old piggy banks, or jars of spare change that have not been opened in years. Sometimes, all it takes is curiosity to uncover something extraordinary. This is why coin collectors always encourage one simple habit. Look closely at your coins. Examine the surfaces. Notice the patterns, the scratches, the colors that make each piece unique. Because sometimes the smallest details reveal the greatest treasures. And discoveries like this remind us that hidden wealth can exist right in front of our eyes. Here on Big Bucks Coins, we continue bringing you fresh discoveries from the fascinating world of rare coins every single day. Each video uncovers new stories, new treasures, and new possibilities for collectors who love the thrill of finding something extraordinary. And who knows? The next hidden treasure might already be sitting quietly in your own pocket.